Good evening, everyone, and welcome to The Food Must Go On, celebrating a resilient food system. Tonight, we are supporting the Sustainable Food Center, and I thank you for taking the time to join us this evening. I'm Lauren Petrowski, a TV and radio host and longtime friend of the Sustainable Food Center. I'm so happy to be hosting this event this evening and to share in SFC's mission, which is to cultivate a just and regenerative food system so that people and the environment can thrive. I'm sure that many of you know about the work that the Sustainable Food Center does. You've likely been to an SFC farmers market, or you've attended Farm to Plate, one of the most anticipated food events of the year in Austin. But if you're not familiar with the work of SFC, well, let me tell you a little bit about it. The Sustainable Food Center creates opportunities for people to make healthy food choices and to participate in a vibrant local food system. That happens through organic food gardening, through relationships with farmers, interactive cooking and nutrition education classes, along with weekly farmers markets. Through that work, children and adults in Central Texas have increased access to locally grown food and are empowered to improve their health and the environment. I mentioned Farm to Plate, an event that I know many of us are missing this year. While we are not able to enjoy the delicious food made by local chefs while socializing with one another and raising funds for SFC in person, it is important that we still take time tonight to celebrate those who are committed to nourishing our community in the face of unprecedented challenges. We will be sharing interviews, demos, tours, and more from chefs, farmers, and foodies, and we hope that you can give. There's a link on your screen where you can donate at any time tonight, sfc.givesmart.com. Canceling Farm to Plate means that the Sustainable Food Center is missing out on $300,000 in revenue that they count on each year from this event. At a time when everyone seems to be more aware than ever about the food supply chain and food security, we need to ensure that organizations like SFC have the resources that they need to meet the immediate and long-term food security needs of families in and around Austin through local food. We have a special match this evening from the Stillwater Foundation, so any donation that you make will be doubled. Again, that link to donate, sfc.givesmart.com. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Rhonda Rutledge, SFC's Executive Director.
Thanks, Lauren, and thanks to all of you for joining us in this celebration of resilience. I'm so grateful for our amazing sponsors, helping ensure that SFC continues our critical work under extraordinary circumstances. Please see all of our sponsors and partners listed at the end. SFC also wants to give a special shout out to all frontline workers in the fields of healthcare, food service, farmers markets, farms, sanitation, and postal service. If this were a Farm to Plate, we'd be awarding a change maker tonight. You are all our change makers. We're trying to close the gap on our lost Farm to Plate revenue, so please make a gift as you enjoy this virtual event. Anyone who donates $100 or more will get the online version of our brand new cookbook from the Happy Kitchen, hot off the press. We have various matches on the table, so your gift will go even further when you invest in SFC tonight. From me, my board chair Nancy Spencer, and all of our board and staff, sit back, relax, and enjoy The Food Must Go On.
Hey everybody, I'm Rick Lopez from La Condesa. That's Duncan down there. Say hi, Dunky. Say hi. It's a little hot today, so we're just kind of hanging out a little bit. I wanted to say hello to everybody first, and I wanted to say hang in there. We'll all be back here eventually to our restaurants, but I wanted to highlight what we're doing here at our household. Trying to support the farmers, trying to stay as local as possible, and help the economy with purchasing close to us. I have some really cool things that I've been getting from Fagan Farm lately, so he's given me some radishes, some turnips, some onions, a little bit of carrots, and then I also placed an order with Farm to Table, and Sam Lash brought over some feta cheese from Honey Dough Farms and near Houston, Texas. We're gonna do a little breakfast taco action for you. We actually cooked live the other day here in our house on Instagram. But I'm gonna show you this really nice breakfast taco that we did. And I think you guys are gonna like it too because it shows how we can utilize what we order, what we buy at the markets. I know a lot of us have been eating a lot more vegetables lately, and that's really cool. So we're gonna treat this like our potatoes. If we're making like a potato and egg taco, I cut everything up to kind of bite size so I can get it into the pan quickly and then listen to that little sizzle happen. This guy doesn't want to get back in there. And then I've got some salt and pepper to go on. Everything's a really quick cook. I know you guys are missing breakfast tacos out there, so I wanted to stay close to home with all of our feels and our warm blanket that we're using right now, which is, I don't know, really nice home cooking, stuff that's really easy for us. So we'll get it to this level right here. I'll probably cook it for another 30 seconds or so, but I wanted to show something cool that you guys can also use in your house. We have some onion tops. So I get these spring onions from Fagan, and they come all intact. We get the bulb, which is the white part of the onion, and then we have the tops, which I'm gonna use. And then these guys right here are the tops of the turnips. And I wanna throw those into the taco too, so it can be like our little spinach that we do for like frittatas, like that type of feel. The only thing is these have a better taste than spinach. They're peppery, they're bright, still really crispy. And I'm gonna throw those in now, just to kind of get the energy going on those, cook a little bit of that liquid out. I'm only making one taco, but it's gonna be a really cool, fun farm taco. Give myself a little bit more heat, and then I'll go on with the eggs. The eggs we also are getting from Sam at Farm to Table. So that's Gonzales, Texas. And you can see everything start to come together really nicely here. It's bright, it's green. If somebody wants to make this right now, you can do it right now. It's really easy. The kids can make it. I think Duncan's trying to eat what I've thrown on the floor right now. So cook it a few more seconds here. While that's happening, I'll break up some of this feta. And the cheese to taco ratio is important for me. So we tell a lot of cheesy jokes in the house, so we eat a lot of cheesy things too. So we're there. We got some fluffy eggs. We're about to eat a breakfast taco, or my wife is, because she's filming me right now. This is real life, guys. Okay, here we go. Look at all those veggies. Can you guys see that? Look how bright that is. Lots of veggies in there. Try to get one little pretty scoop onto our flour tortillas. The flour that I'm using in this guy right here is coming from Barton Springs Mill. And there's our finish. Now we don't have any hot sauce made, but we do have some Valentina in a bottle somewhere, so you guys can pick what you want for your spice on that. But that's what I'm doing. That's what we're doing at the house. We're doing local. We do it at the restaurant. I try to keep those relationships alive for as long as possible and forever in my book. But yeah, you guys know now too, when you get your stuff from the market, when you get it from your orders online, you can make breakfast tacos in your own house and you can feel super proud of yourself too. So thank you very much, and we'll see you soon, SFC and everybody out there. Bye.
Hello everyone, this is Laura Estes. I'm the Director of Marketing and Merchandising for HEB here in Central Texas, and have been a proud HEB partner for the past 35 years. I've also been a volunteer with Sustainable Food Center for the last 10 years, serving on the board of directors, and 2 of those years I served as the board chair. So I have been just amazed and touched by the work that SFC has done over these 10 years, and including during this time of the pandemic. So I want to start with some shout outs. First and foremost, I got to shout out to my HEB partners. They are my true heroes out there. They are making sure that customers are able to shop safely. They're making sure that there's great products on the shelf. We won't talk about toilet paper, but they're doing what's right even when it's not easy. I also want to give a shout out to all the farmers in Central Texas who are out there growing great local produce in this amazing springtime that we're having here in Central Texas. Thank you for bringing your produce to the farmers markets every Saturday. And another shout out to the volunteers of SFC that are out there at the farmers markets and all the customers that are supporting those farmers out there in the farmers markets. I also want to give the last shout out to the restaurateurs who have stayed open, cooking great food, great local food here in the market. And Joyce and I have been trying to get by at least twice a week to support all the local restaurateurs. So thanks for what you're doing. I also want to talk a little bit about the things that have kept me sane during those 43 days. Number one is my garden and my golden retriever who keeps barking. And my garden, show you some of my tomatoes. Got 6 great tomato plants in here and a tomato down there with a whole lot of blossoms that are going to set fruit soon. I've also got my jalapenos. This jalapeno tree or bush, if you want to call it, is over 5 or 6 years old, and every spring it just puts out an amazing amount of fruit. And you can see my other things that I've got in the garden, a couple of squash plants, etc. So stay safe out there. Keep up the social distancing, wash your hands, and support local food. Thank you.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
It's a very rewarding activity. It's an outdoor activity. I love being outside. We live in a forest, 70-acre forest, so there's no better way to be. It's a very powerful vendor community here. We all support each other, help each other, learn from each other. We are certified organic, which means things look a little bit different than in the store. The taste is basically what sells the products, and that's why chefs are very much focusing on buying organic, because their product is taste. I think almost a third of the sales is chefs, either regulars or incidental. We supply to farm to table, who in turn distributes to restaurants. So I just dropped off, for instance, 250 carrots and 200 turnips. So there are several programs which are designed to create better access for low-income people to local fresh food, to improve their health, and that's what SFC administers.
We're actually WIC members, which means it's like a women's program. They help with breastfeeding and infant growing and nutrition. I'm excited to shop here at the farmers market because it's local and fresh foods.
With the WIC program, with Sustainable Food Center, we get double or triple dollars. So, you know, in today's economy, when with a family, we get to get tons of fresh fruits and vegetables. Everything is super high quality and really delicious. And it's just a blessing to be able to experience it and provide that to my family.
Aquí es como una interactúas más directamente con la persona que te está vendiendo las frutas. So es muy bonito que exista este tipo de programa.
My greatest joy is to have the interaction with the people who buy, who get to know us over a number of years. To go, Alice. Thank you. 25 out of 25. Can you pay me the 5 later when you have some change? Because I don't have it yet.
You certainly could, but later is going to be next week.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. You're good for it.
All right, I am good for it.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome on out to Eden East Farm and Eden East Restaurant.
Yeah, we are here on a beautiful day. Eden East Restaurant has been operating on this location for about 7 years, and we've enjoyed serving our neighbors and Austinites and visitors using local food, usually what we were growing here. We've been operating it as a farm now for the last 2 years as well. Before that, it was Springdale Farm with Glenn and Paula Four. They were here for almost a decade with this setup the way that it is. And then before that, right next to the airport. And then before that, it's been an urban farm for, I guess, turn of the century. We have a little bit of history we know about it. David?
Yeah, so Glenn and Paula bought this property back in '91 and ran it as a landscaping business and as an urban farm all the way up until 2018, where we took it over. But before that, it actually had cattle on it and berries and all that other good stuff.
And now it has cucumbers.
And now it has cucumbers.
You see everything.
Cucumbers and cilantro and everything else. And we just wanted to say thank you to everybody in the food community in Austin, and especially the Sustainable Food Center, who has been a leader in educating the public about local food and educating the producers on how to get to market, and just being a valuable resource for everybody. So we just wanted to give props to them, say thank you to them and all of their supporters, and that we are equally saddened that Farm to Plate is not happening this year, but we hope that you all will recognize the importance of Farm to Plate in its annual cause, and Sustainable Food Center and their annual work, and give as needed. Thank you so much for everything, and have a beautiful night.
Thank you for your support.
I want to thank you again for joining us this evening to support the Sustainable Food Center. I'm Lauren Petrowski, and I am a longtime fan of SFC. When I was a morning anchor on Good Day Austin, one of the best parts of my job was that every week I got to work with SFC, highlighting their programs, the farmers markets, and the vendors, and getting to do cooking demos with chefs who support SFC's mission. I love that we got to share the work of SFC with our viewers each week, and it is essential that that work can continue. So please support the Sustainable Food Center tonight by visiting that site that's listed on your screen, sfc.givesmart.com. Next up, we are taking a glimpse into one of the wonderful farms that SFC works with.
I'm Sam Moffett, and we're at Shirtail Creek Farm, where we produce pasture-raised eggs, pasture-raised chicken, and grass-fed beef. I run this farm with my wife, Carolyn, and our 2 kids, Ellie and Django. You know, we worked in digital advertising in Austin for like 13 years. And I don't know if you've ever done this at a job where you sit in your cubicle or whatever and you fantasize about what you could be doing. But I would like fantasize and watch, you know, video content about these people that are out just connected to the earth and doing something that they felt was meaningful. We had given over a decade of our lives to career and prided ourselves in being hard workers and being successful and whatever else, but we didn't really feel like we were adding any value anywhere to our community or to ourselves long term. It kind of happened organically because even when we bought the farm, we weren't planning on doing this. I was planning on having some cattle, and I told Carolyn one day, I was like, you know, I think we should buy a few hundred chickens and see if we can make awesome eggs. And she's like, what? You know, we're still figuring out the cattle thing. What are you talking about? And the more we learned, the more passionate we got about it. And the more we learn still about regenerative ag and everything, the more passionate we get about that.
What makes your eggs so good?
Well, they come from Shirtail Creek Farm. So our eggs are unique. Our birds have a lot of room to roam and forage. We try to provide as much leafy green forage for them as we can. That in turn results in darker yolks. And, you know, we feed them a custom milled feed that's, you know, high in carotenoids, specifically xanthophylls, which is, I'm not going to go off on that whole thing, but foods that are high in that include turnips, kale, broccoli, alfalfa, and yeah, they're just awesome. I mean, what am I supposed to say? I don't know, they're badass. What's funny is I think what we found since we've started doing this is that the response from the marketplace, if you will, the response from people, is that I think there's a bigger demand for sustainably raised food than there is a supply in many cases. You know, pricing is an issue sometimes. Not everybody can go to Whole Foods, and so we're really excited by the opportunity to be a producer and produce a good product. And we're kind of building our farm around a wholesale model because we want to be able to provide something at a price that's accessible to most people. Since coronavirus has kind of blown up, our business has gotten really crazy. People are kind of freaking out about getting food, maybe more than they have to, but there certainly is an imminent, you know, shortage. And so we've seen a big uptick in business, and we're scrambling to kind of, you know, spread the love and take care of people as best we can. I think in scenarios like this, having a connection to your local farmer is a really good thing, and I think a lot of people are realizing that. It's obvious. You look at what's happening with access to meat and eggs and stuff, for example, at grocery stores. There's a lot of people that are going without that don't have any clue where a farm is that produces that stuff. And in most cases, there's a farm within 30, 40 minutes of where you live that's producing that stuff that would happily sell it to you. I mean, it's funny, in the wake of all this happening, we definitely feel a duty to our community to be there. You know, we could have holed up on the farm and we've got tons of meat and eggs and we're good. We could have not gone to the farmer's market, but you know, we feel a definite obligation to be there for the people that have been supporting us. You know, people are being nourished with food that comes from our farm. Like, what greater honor can there be, you know? It's just a great thing, and it's really humbling, and especially when you interact with people who like what you're producing, it's pretty awesome.
Hi everybody, my name is Roberto Espinosa. I'm the founder and co-owner of Taco Deli. Welcome to the Espinosa household. We are here to talk a little bit about the Sustainable Food Center and the fundraising efforts and also to cook a little bit of food to put a little cheer on your face and hopefully bring a smile to everybody at your home. Real quick, I just want to show y'all a recipe that we make at the restaurant. We use it for our pork and our chicken adobo tacos and our pork pastor tacos. And this is a finished product. It's an adobo sauce that we make with dry peppers. You can choose your peppers to kind of choose your Scoville heat units, if you would, to make sure that you don't make it too hot if you don't like hot, or that you don't make it too mild if you don't like mild, like me. What I'm going to do is boil these peppers to get them nice and soft, and that way when I put them in my blender with all my ingredients, they blend up nice and easy. And what I'm going to do next is add my ingredients. These are all going to be raw. So I've got a bay leaf, I've got some thyme, I've got some rosemary, I've got oregano, I've got onion, and I've got garlic. And those are going to go in my blender. Of course, blend them up really good. And of course, the wet ingredients, a little apple cider vinegar with a little lemon juice. I'm out of lime juice and orange juice at the house at the moment. So in any case, you get this paste, and then you can use this paste to cook your proteins. So an example is our pastor taco. We dice our pork butt to about a quarter inch, or actually about an inch rather, and we cook it down till it's fully cooked, about 25 minutes. Then we add our adobo sauce on top of that. So we're kind of layering that flavor on top. And then it cooks down, it really assimilates with the dish and with the sauce that the pork has already made. And it becomes just as amazing kind of a coating. It really grabs the meat and it's delicious. See you guys. Thank y'all. Bye-bye.
Hello, Sustainable Food Center family, supporters, farmers, and friends. This is Addie Broyles, the food writer for the Austin American-Statesman and Austin360.com, and I'm coming to you from my home kitchen where I'm making a little lunch behind me. And I am reaching out to say, first and foremost, thank you to everybody who has supported SFC for so long, and for the farmers and the volunteers and the people who make all of the programs possible. When I first moved to Austin more than 15 years ago, I did a little volunteering stint with SFC, and that was my first introduction into the power of this organization. And SFC has only grown in the past decade and a half, and I've been lucky enough to be a food writer now for 12 years. And so my involvement with SFC has changed a little bit, but what hasn't changed is my respect for the people who make the local food system possible. In the past 6 weeks, we have undergone some unprecedented changes, and I do not say that lightly. As both a food writer and a food consumer, as a person and as a professional, it is a very different time than it was 2 months ago. And it's amazing to watch every food company, from the restaurants who are now doing takeout and have transformed into little grocery markets, to the farmers who are offering delivery and partnering with these startups who are doing everything they can to get food into people's homes. It is just amazing. And I hope that over the long term, people will not lose this appreciation for how food works, how food moves, how it grows, how it gets from place to place, and what we do with it when we get it home. And SFC has been working for so many years to be involved with every aspect of that, from how to grow food, to how to move it, to how to cook it. And I just want to see SFC continue on for many more years, because we don't know what challenges will await us. We don't know how things are going to look a year from now or even 2 months from now. But the ability for an organization to provide stability for the people it serves on the producer side and the consumer side has just never been more important. And so I am looking forward to working with SFC in the future to help spread the word about the good programs that they enact, and how everyday Austinites can be closer to their food so that they can appreciate it that much more. I'm certainly one of them.
Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Keelan Donovan. I'm an artist from Austin, Texas. I just want to say how impressed I am with the local Austin food system. We all know how important fresh food is, so thank you all very much. This is a new song of mine. This is called Mother Smile. My mother's smile looks the same as it did when I was a child. It'll stay right here with me for a while, my mother's smile. Oh, how I miss you. That cherry tree, they put it in the yard just for me. But now I got something to say before I leave that cherry tree. Oh, how I miss you. And I promise to you that I'll be back soon. 'Cause nothing out there means as much as you. Goodbye, old home. Won't you leave the light on? That summer air feels different here than it did there. It still blows into my room, but I don't care. That summer air, oh, how I miss you. And my sisters laugh. Some days I wish that I could just go back, but my feet aren't fast enough for me to catch my sister's laugh. Oh, how I miss you. And I promise to you that I'll be back soon. 'Cause nothing out there means as much as you. Goodbye, old home. Won't you leave the light on? Well, I know a mother's love is nothing that you can let go. And I hope when my kids get older, no matter, they will always know. Yeah, they will know their mother's smile. It'll look the same as it did when they were a child. It'll stay right there with them for a while, their mother's smile, my mother's smile. Oh, I miss you.
My name's Raj Patel, and I'm on the advisory board of the Sustainable Food Centre. And sustainability is what I want to talk about, because right now we are experiencing the food system in ways that are raw. I'm part of the 30% that gets to work from home, and that puts me in a position of immense privilege, and I recognize that, and I think that more and more people are recognizing what it is to be on one or other side of the divide of being an essential worker and being free to be able to have a continued income and to be able to work from home. Right now, we're seeing quite how broken our already fragile food system was. We're hearing all this stuff about how dairy farmers are having to throw away milk, and how certain kinds of food producers are ploughing their crops under. But at the same time, I'm hearing from my farmer friends in all kinds of sustainable agriculture that they've never been busier, because more and more people are reaching directly out to them to be part of a farm share or to be connected in one way or another to the short supply chains that sustainability demands and offers. And I think what's important here is not merely to recognize that sustainable food and sustainable food systems are particularly robust and resilient right now, but also that workers are caught in a bind by precisely that sustainability. It's important, of course, to celebrate the vitality of the farms that supply us with robust, fresh, sustainable, organic, local, seasonal produce. But right now is a time in which some workers caught up in those supply chains are being exploited. And my great hope at the end of the catastrophe of COVID-19 is that we're able to remember a little better that there were some workers who put their lives on the front line for us so that our sustainable food system chains could work, whether they're migrant farm workers, whether they're the grocery store clerks, whether they're the janitors, anyone who's been involved in the labor of food and the reproductive labor that supports that labor. They are the heroes of the sustainable food system who've often been ignored. We've often just sort of concentrated on the beauties of, this perfect sustainable tomato. Now's the time to remember the workers who are involved in getting that food to us. And I'm hoping after COVID has passed that we will look back in shame at the way that workers were not part of our calculus of sustainability. But that we'll also be in a world in which we are able to value local sustainable produce, that we are all able to eat it, we are all able to afford it. Those who work in the food system are treated with dignity and are given not merely hazard pay, but pay commensurate with the dignity and specialization and skill of the work that's involved, and the essentiality of that work, and that we can all together enjoy the fruits of a sustainable food system.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Okay, bye. So I just found out that Tito's Handmade Vodka came in with another $5,000 match. So technically, if you make your gift between now and the end of the show, it could be tripled, right? Doubled with the Stillwater match and then tripled with Tito's Handmade Vodka. Thank you so much for watching tonight and enjoy the last few segments of The Food Must Go On.
Hey y'all, I'm Bryce Gilmore with Odd Duck, Barley Swine, Sour Duck. I've been a big fan of SFC for a while now. I've been going to the farmers markets for 10 years, and it's really important to us that we know where our food comes from, and I think that the markets are the best place for that opportunity. It's pretty neat to meet the farmers and the people that are responsible for putting their hands in the dirt, getting all the work done that it takes to get from seed to market. SFC's done a great job of connecting people to responsibly grown and raised food sources. Access to good food should be available to everybody. And we got to keep it going. There's still a lot of work to do. With the cancellation of Farm to Plate this year, SFC is going to need our help even more. So during these tough times, let's keep taking care of each other.
I started using as much local as we could about 15 years ago. And when we opened up Jack Allen's Kitchen, that meant to align ourselves with the best farmers that I could. It really was one of those handshake deals. I said, I promise you, anything you bring, I'll buy from you. Sustainable Food Center is a great liaison between farmers and people like us. They put people together.
You have to think about how much that consistent wholesale customer, it means that I can count on paying my bills that week with certainty. Think about the quantity that a restaurant buys versus one person, and they're able to spread that flavor out to a bunch of different people in their restaurant and provide exposure to what we do here.
I always show up at a farmer's market with empty crates, and it's the crates that I got from them last week. So it's kind of that circle. Here's what I tell people that go to the farmer's market. Don't go there with a shopping list. Go there as if you're going to make dinner that night on Saturday night. So you go there and you might see the perfect tomatoes, buy some tomato. You might see the perfect eggs, buy some eggs. Get it, then go home and make something. Go there without a shopping list. If I was to receive lettuce today from California, it was harvested about 10 days ago. If I buy it local, they were picked yesterday. Fresh is best. I mean, that's my motto. It always has been. It's always will be. You have a better chance to succeed with a great plate if you start off with a great ingredient. And what I choose to do is buy the best ingredient I can locally and treat it with respect and honor it. The best way to give back is to go to the markets and support them. So it's up to people like us to step up and buy it.
So here we are in South Austin at my farmhouse. Sure enough, here's the farm. 40 acres of pride and joy. Or as you can see, it's more like 4 foot by 4 foot pride and joy, but nonetheless, you can grow a lot in a small space. I've got these great tomatoes that I got from Boggy Creek Farm, one of our great urban farms here in Austin. We've got sorrel down in here, we've got parsley, we've got basil, we've got chives, of course, and etc. And then over here is my North 40, another 4 foot by 4 foot farm that's got the mint and the Thai basil and Mexican oregano and Mexican marigold as well. So all of this bounty is possible by just putting your hands in the soil. And I can't pretend to be a farmer, but I do keep my hand in it, literally. Still, a family needs a little bit more than 4 foot by 4 foot, so I go to farmers markets. This wonderful platter of joy right here, tomatoes, produced by Jamie, one of the farmers who sells down at the Sustainable Food Center market in central Austin. I go also to Boggy Creek Farm and some of the urban farms that we have here and other farmers markets. The beauty of farmers market food is you don't have to do much to it. Let the tomatoes and the other produce speak for themselves. And I've made a big bowl of tomato sauce out of this very concoction right here. And it's the joy of farming and the joy of being with the farmers, with the people, the vendors that are here, and producing a sense of unity for the community by bringing us together around tomatoes.
My name is Sarah Hickman. I'm a musician here in Austin, Texas, and a mom. And the reason I love sustainable, locally grown food, especially organic food, is because it's great for my family, it tastes fresh, and I know where it's coming from. It's come from a local source, and they don't use a lot of pesticides or yucky stuff. So to me, locally grown food, going to the farmer's market has just always been a really fun experience. And sometimes I play at the farmer's markets, and I'm amazed at how kind all the farmers and all the people who are growing local produce are. So really a big supporter of that.
Won't you play us a song now, Sarah Hickman?
I would love to play you a song now. I'll just do a short version because I know I don't have much time on this spectacular show. And this is called The Best of Times, so I'll do a verse and a chorus. Here I go. Because of course I wish you the best of times. Too many sweet potatoes. This is the best of times, some say the worst of times. Guess it all just depends which glass you're drinking from. This is our only chance to reverse a dance that was started so long ago. And in the end it will seem that life rolled by like a dream. Hope
Well, thank you everyone for joining us this evening and for supporting the Sustainable Food Center. Tonight you have heard from farmers, chefs, clients, and more. And hopefully you have an even better understanding of what SFC does and why it is so important to have a resilient food system. You can still donate at any time to that website. We will be announcing more matching gifts via SFC's social media through Giving Tuesday on May 5th. Thank you to all of our supporters. I'm Lauren Petrowski. I'm so happy that I could be with you tonight. Please stay healthy and have a good evening.
I saw Miss Brown, yes, I saw Miss Brown. She had brown sugar all over her booger wooger. I think I might join the fun, but I had to hit and run. Seems I just can't settle down, and I can't keep out of town. Nice one, that's what they say. Nice one. As I'm leaving you today, nice one, oh darling, please don't dare. Nice one, mama say, kinky reggae. Kinky reggae now. Kinky reggae. Kinky reggae now. Kinky reggae. Kinky reggae now. Nice one. New way. New way. New way. New way. I went down to Piccadilly Circus. Down there I saw Marcus. He had candy toy all over his chocolate bar. I think I might join the fun, but I had to hit and run. Seems I just can't settle down, and I can't keep out of town. Nice one, that's what they say. Nice one, yes, I am leaving you today. Nice one, oh mama, please don't dare. Nice one, mama say, kinky reggae. Kinky reggae now.